Well, with hiking season upon us, we're gonna explore a pack that is stronger than steel, but that weighs less than a pineapple. In preparation for this video, I've been hiking this winter with the Hyperlight Mountain Gear Daybreak 17-liter backpack. And there are several well thought out features that make this very capable in the backcountry, but also a few design characteristics that left me scratching my head and going, why though? And if you're new to the channel, I'm Aaron and this is Gideon's Tactical, where here I share walkthroughs and breakdowns of gear and equipment to help you stay better equipped and prepared for all of life's adventures. And so if you like this type of content, I invite you to hit that like button, to subscribe, make sure to hit that bell icon and become part of the Gideon's Tactical family. Now you may be asking yourself, how can a pack that only weighs 21 ounces or just under 600 grams have such strength? It's because it's made out of Dyneema fabric. And at 1/1000th of an inch thick, Dyneema fabric at the molecular level is stronger than steel, which means that the strength to weight ratio is honestly out of this world. But before we go any further in the video, I want to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, which is Huckberry. Huckberry is much more than just another online retailer because they bring us the best new brands and gear at the best prices while sharing tips and ideas on how we can use that gear and equipment. But I want to hone in on Huckberry's selection of backpacks. Regardless if it's models from GoRuck, Mystery Ranch, or Topo Designs, they have many brands and styles to choose from, including Hyperlight. They have a few Hyperlight designs, including this Daybreak pack, and so I appreciate them sending this design over to me so I can have tested it over these last several months. And at $230, that is an investment for a day pack. So my plan is to unpack all the capabilities and highlight if there are any limitations in the design so that we can better determine for ourselves if it's the right pack to take on our next adventure. I invite you to go check out Huckberry. I'll have a link in the description below, as well as my exclusive 10% promo code, which you can apply towards your very first purchase. And so regardless if it's packs or other gear and apparel, I invite you to go check out all that Huckberry has to offer. Now, I'm very new to that Dyneema fabric arena, but what I found is very interesting is it wears similar to canvas, where you're gonna find wrinkles and creases over time just as you use the bag, and kind of wears in like a canvas jacket or pair of pants would. And another excellent characteristic is that it's extremely water resistant, and water's just gonna bead off and run off a pack or gear designed with Dyneema fabric. Now, the particular blend of Dyneema fabric that is used in the bag is going to be 150 denier, and it's going to have a polyester face to the material. Now, it has a really unique texture to it that, to be honest, does feel a little weird and strange for a person that usually has Cordura or regular polyester blend packs. And it's really noisy. And that little bit of crunchiness sounds like my kids diving into a bowl of Captain Crunch on Saturday morning. On trail, I didn't notice it being noisier than any of my other packs, but if you start getting into water bottle sleeves or having to pull and detach stuff and do things, it's definitely noisier than honestly any other pack I own. Now, the interior storage is 17 liters, but there's actually an extra 6 liters of storage on the exterior of the bag with the water bottle pockets and this massive back sleeve. This thing is huge. It's got a reinforced elastic collar right here with a massive dump pocket that goes about 2/3 of the way the body of the pack. You can easily get 2 raincoats in there. So that's an awesome dump feature. Stuff that in there. And right on top of that is a 3-stage shock cord system with plenty of extra shock cords, so you can get quite large items attached to the back. Now, since this bag doesn't have any compression straps, I was a little concerned about carrying tripods when I'm doing videography, or depending on my particular task that day, bringing trekking poles or a compact hatchet into the outdoors. Where was I going to be able to stabilize and carry something long and heavy like that? Well, they've mitigated that with this really nice adjustable tassel down here for an ice axe, hatchet, tripod, trekking poles, whatever you want, fully adjustable, in tandem with a shock cord attachment up here that really works well, and I was able to lash anything that's longer and heavier that I'd normally take with me on a day hike with this setup. Now we're gonna trickle right into the water bottle pockets that are ambidextrous on either side, and they are cut at an angle so that I was easily able to get my 32-ounce smart water bottle out be able to drink, and then put it back in without taking the pack off. That's very nice that you don't have to do that. And they're quite expandable. They have a reinforced elastic collar. I have seen two 32-ounce smart water bottles next to each other side by side, so the diameter was able to handle that. Currently what you see here is a 1.5 liter Fuji water bottle, no problem all day. Your 32 and 48-ounce Nalgene's could easily fit in there. And some of the footage you're seeing, I had a 50-ounce water bottle in there that didn't throw off the weight balance or anything like that, and it easily was able to handle that. So they'll be able to handle all your hydration needs, but also extra gear that you may need to throw in there, including, say, a large tripod. I was able to get the footprint of my tripod into the pocket, and then with the top shock cord that we talked about a moment ago, easily able to stabilize it. And I'll just answer the question now, because I'm sure many of you are thinking, what the heck was that hose that was attached to the water bottles giving me hands-free hydration? That's a Hardside hydration swig rig. You're able to attach those to your wide mouth Nalgene's, or they have options for the fitting of most 28mm water bottles, which I was using in this particular video, giving you the ability to drink like from a water bladder, but it comes out of those hard-sided water bottles. So I'll have a link in the description box below as well over to Hardside if you want to step up your hydration game. Now, me being a larger guy at 6'2" and about 215 pounds on average, day packs, if they're too small or too short, just aren't comfortable for me, but this has a great layout. This is a one-size-fits-all, apparently older models, so some older videos you may see on YouTube or when you're doing research may have different size ranges. Currently in 2023, this is a one-size-fits-all model design. It has quite a bit of adjustability and easily fits on my larger frame. Now, the pack is rated for up to 25 pounds of gear and equipment on average throughout my treks. I was doing about 13 pounds overall of gear and equipment. I'll show you what I have inside and just how spacious it really is. You can carry quite a bit of gear for a 17-liter bag. And the Yoke system itself is pretty rudimentary. There's nothing really stand out from it. It's got well sewn in attachment points up top, no load lifters or anything like that. It's not designed to be a heavy loaded out bag. It's gonna have reinforced pads that have some density to them on those shoulder straps with mesh on the back, so they'll breathe pretty well. Now, they were generous with several attachment points down the shoulder straps, and I like to lash a lot of gear to that, like bear spray and my satellite communicator. Now, it's got ITW polymer on the sternum strap that does have an emergency whistle attachment, a little bit of elastic as well, so it kind of hugs and flexes to your body as you're trekking, and it is adjustable. You can uncinch it. It's kind of old school. You uncinch it and then you put it at whichever ladder stage you wish to have it, and then you cinch it back down. So that's kind of an old school way, but it's very functional, and I'm glad that it's there instead of on tracks. I'm just not a huge like sliding track fan. They tend to get weird. And now, I do like the design characteristics of the waist strap. It is stowable, so there's little pockets on the back that you can just tuck it away, and I actually never used it. I didn't feel like it was necessary. If I had loaded it out to probably close to its maximum, I would have deployed them and started using them. So they tuck away if you don't want those. If you do, if you need it for whatever reason, or you just like having that extra little cinching down of the bag, then they have little padded wings, very thin, but little wings on the side to go around those hip bones, which is excellent. And then it has plenty of size to go around most waists. Now, I'm a little lukewarm on the back panel itself. It's just the Dyneema fabric. There's no mesh or other breathable, channels really or anything like that. So it is going to get clammy and sweaty on the back portion of the bag. So that's just something that you need to be prepared for. That is also where all the structure is. There's no removable panel. It's sewn in, but there is some structure between you and your gear, and that's where all the support is going to come from. Now, as we move along, we got those waterproof zippers with those little nice standoffs, and they run like 3/4 of the way down the bag. So you can really open this thing quite wide, give you access to the main dump pocket with 2 interior organizational bits. Now, you get this high-vis orange, and you can feel that kind of dense material back there, giving it that structure and support. Now, this is the last aspect that I was just kind of like, I don't get this, kind of leaving me scratching my head. It has a large sleeve in here that can handle up to a 13-inch laptop if for some reason you wanted to cross this over as a carry-on because you're gonna do some hikes on your travel. There is no hydration bladder hose port. There's none of that. There's no hole cut out. anything like that, to be able to run a bladder hose for those of you who like carrying a hydration system that way. The sleeve could easily handle most, say 70 to, I would argue 100 ounce could probably fit in there. There's no extra hanging tassel though, so it's just gonna kind of sink down to the bottom, or you'd have to have one of those that has like the handle to grab to that. So I think that was just kind of a miss. I mean, all you have to do is cut a hole and we're good to go, and put a little tassel, piece of paracord even, shock cord, just to kind of hang that water bladder, and you'd be ready to go. So it's not really set up for that. What I've seen most people do is actually put their water bladders in this back dump pocket that's in the exterior, and then run the hose just that way. Only downside to that is it is going to be exposing the top of your hydration system to not only branches and debris that could cause punctures and things like that, but also just the sun. You know, the heat of the sun is going to be on there. It's not the end of the world. If you're really into water bladders, hopefully some new rendition, they will just cut in a port, or if you want to risk it, you could probably cut it and try and, you know, do something to mod it in that way, or just bring up the zippers and have them connect up there. But I feel like that was a little bit of a miss. Then on the back side, we have made in Mexico. Good to see that we have something that's made on the same continent like that, with a little one zipper, just organizational pocket, no tether inside there, again, cutting down on that weight, but you can easily fit your wallet, cell phone, keys in there, or a headlamp and a multi-tool or pocket knife, something like that. Then what we have in here is just a nice tall, it stands well, like I'm balancing it on my knee right now, as it's just standing there fully packed with water and everything, and it's not wanting to fall over. I like that. My sub 7 one-man hammock, massive med kit, survival pouch, as well as my complete mess kit stored inside a 750 milliliter Tokes titanium mug, my rigid GoPro case, and my half zip fleece, and I still had plenty of extra space for a few other large bulky items. Now, where do I sit with this pack? Now, having used it a bunch and having tested and used so many other day packs throughout the years, and I do look forward to hearing your guys' thoughts, particularly if you own one of these or another Hyperlight model. How is it holding up for you? You know, what's been your experience with the brand and that Dyneema fabric? I always look forward to seeing your guys' comments. For me, it really, I was not expecting a lot when I first got it. I was like, okay, this is basically gonna be like a structureless pack with some like, ooh, super fancy fabric. And we're just gonna pay for it because that's kind of the way it goes in the outdoor industry. If it's lightweight, you're gonna have to pay more. But it has outperformed in durability my expectations, because it's not just, you know, like Ziploc baggie that's going to rip out on the very first, you know, time out. It's much more durable, much more water resistant than I was originally anticipating, but also just how it's built, laid out. I enjoy carrying it when I'm going long distances and I'm carrying minimal amount of gear. So it's for bagging peaks and long distance hikes, and I'm not testing out a bunch of equipment and taking my entire camera load out. For those scenarios, bags like my Mystery Ranch Coulee 25 that I've been using for years, which is more than double the weight of this backpack, it's not ideal for those super long treks. If I have the option to go with something like this, it's excellent for short excursions with lots of gear. But if I have the choice, I gravitate more to this ultralight when I want long distance, low gear scenarios. So I hope that that better determines for you guys and helps set that up so that you can determine for yourself if it's the right pack for you. Appreciate you guys so much for taking out your valuable time to watch this video. I invite you to subscribe and check out the other video popping up. And until next time, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, and I'll see you out there.